What's up, guys? We are, 9 minutes late, but I mean that's the theme of UFC Bro Picks, man. We're always late. We got UFC Greenville. We got a banging main event, man. We got Anato Moicano versus Korean Zombie. We got a lot of fights. I hate when we have week off. And joining me is my co-host always, Kelton. What's up, man? And I know you want to talk to us about the Contender Series.
Yeah, man, what's going on? I'm super excited about this Greenville card, man. It's stacked. I happen to have my biggest bet of the year on this card. Obviously, we're coming off UFC 238. That was one of my biggest nights of the year so far. Henry Cejudo coming in through for me again. But, man, with this Greenville card, I mean, look at these names. You got Hanato Moicano, Korean Zombie, John Lineker. Dan Ige versus Kevin Aguilar is a really good fight. Darren Winn, super anticipated UFC debut. I mean, it's stacked, man. But yeah, if you don't mind me talking about Contender Series real quick, that ended about an hour ago. So first fight was Yorgan De Castro and Alton Meeks. So Alton, his whole career, well, I say whole career, it's only been 3 fights. His whole career has been take guys down, ground and pound them 2 minutes in. Now, this was the first time he fought a guy with good takedown defense and a good get-up game. And as soon as it hit the 2-minute mark, he started to slow down, and De Castro hit him with some big leg kicks. And let's be honest, Alton kind of quit out there, man. So first fight of the new season, a Contender Series, I want to say plus 700 or plus 800 at one point. Goes out there and gets a first-round knockout. He got a contract. Laughlin and Algeo, they put on a really good fight, man. I thought Laughlin barely edged the first round. Algeo barely edged the second round, and then Laughlin really put it on him in that third round. I had a 29-28 for Laughlin, and it was a good fight. He didn't get a contract. And then Goldie, man, I was super impressed with Hannah Goldie. I thought Dana White was a little too harsh on Goldie. He was too harsh on Laughlin, too, if we're being honest. But, dude, I thought Goldie looked amazing, and I think she easily 30-27s or even finishes like the bottom half of the UFC roster. I honestly think she could meet like a lower of the top 15 in that division, man, like a 12 through 15 girl right now. Like, she's super talented, super high fight IQ, man. Like, she's really good in the clinch, super strong when it comes to the grappling. And then on the feet, she puts together these hard hitting, nasty combinations. So I like Goldie a lot. I think with some more fights, she's going to be a threat. And then that main event, Puna, he went past the first round in his for the first time in his career against a good guy, dude. Jamie Pickett has a iron chin on him, and Puna threw everything but the kitchen sink. And then he started to land the takedowns in the second and third round. Pickett started to use that jab. He had an 8-inch reach advantage, started to jab up Puna, and then Puna went back to what he knows best, and that's wrestling, and he out-wrestled the shit out of him. So that was a good performance. Puna got a contract. I'm eager to see who he gets next, man. I think they got to be very careful with him because he still needs to develop as well. Personally, I thought it should have been Goldie and De Castro to get the contract, but I don't mind seeing Puna get it. Overall, man, it was like a really good first episode, and I'm so glad that show's back. It was awesome.
Yeah, I have not watched any of the fights yet because I've been busy with work, but I'll definitely be watching it after we do this podcast. And I like Soriano a lot, so I'm really anxious to see, who he fights next. I can't wait to watch his fight against Pickett because I haven't watched it yet. The Laughlin line, like I wanted to play him, but I mean he was steamed, bro. Like he was like what minus 300 something like that. But I haven't watched the fight yet, so I don't know how he looked. But yeah, I can't wait for next Contender Series. Contender Series is legit. I love it. So. But yeah, without further ado, I'm down to jump in next card whenever you want to.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, man. So first up, man, we got a good fight. We got Andre Ewell versus Anderson Dos Santos, and I'll start off with this one. This is a pretty good fight, man, between two guys that are definitely pretty similar in the division. Probably towards the bottom. Andre Ewell, he's a SoCal guy. I know him pretty well. He's a good striker, man. He's a good left hand. He's athletic. He's really big for the division. He's definitely probably one of the biggest guys. But the thing with him is he has no ground game. He doesn't have good takedown defense. He doesn't know what to do. Obviously like Barral took his back a couple times. He got up, but I mean Barral's like, come on, dude. You don't know how to beat Barral in 2019. It's pretty embarrassing. But But yeah, I just think this guy's ground game is not good. He's going to get exposed in the future, but I do think he has good striking. And the way these match up, Dos Santos is a guy that comes forward. He's a brawler. He's a pressure fighter. But I just think Ewell has him beat on the feet. Ewell's definitely more technical. Ewell's definitely the faster guy. He's more athletic. Santos can strike too. He has decent striking. He has a good right hand, but he just doesn't have good defense. And if I was confident that he was going to go out there and take Ewell down, then it would be a bet for me on Santos. But we just don't really see this guy taking his opponents down. Like, he has a good submission game, so if this fight hits the mat, obviously he has the advantage. But I'm just not convinced he's going to go out there and take Andre Ewell down. So, and if this fight stays on the feet, it has to go to Ewell. So I'm going to go with Andre Ewell with a second round TKO. I think he gets him out of there with that left hand. What about you?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. This is arguably the fight that has seen the most line movement on this entire card. Obviously, Andre Ewell, he opened a minus 300 favorite with Dos Santos at plus 250. If you got Anderson Dos Santos in the plus 200s or even like plus 170 and above, I mean, props to you. That's a good bet. And I mean, there's totally a chance he could come out here and expose the holes of Andre Ewell. Then when it got down to like Ewell minus 140, minus 150, I'm like, all right, it's probably about right now. And now Andre Ewell is an underdog at plus 105. And, I thought about it a lot today, and I am not going to take the shot on Andre Ewell. I'm going to make it more of a contrarian DraftKings play because obviously that line value is on Anderson Dos Santos. He's a minus 125 favorite, 7,900 in DK. If he wins, it's probably going to be a submission finish. So I feel like everybody and their mom is going to be on Anderson Dos Santos on DraftKings this weekend, to where I see it a different way, man. I don't see why Andre is the underdog in this fight, because stylistically, the way I see it playing out is Anderson Dos Santos. I mean, Justin nailed the breakdown. Anderson Dos Santos is a very good submission grappler, and I mean, opportunistic subs up the wazoo. I mean, the guy guillotined Ricky Simone for Christ's sakes. But the thing is, he doesn't really have the wrestling game to go behind it. I mean, his style is to brawl, even with that Ricky Simone win. I'm going to talk about that Ricky Simone guillotine win because I think some people are looking way too into it. I mean, firstly, it's not like he wrestled Ricky Simone to get him down onto the mat and submit him. For whatever reason, Ricky Simone, he was beating Dos Santos up bad, in my opinion. He was dominating that fight, and then he decided to get a little cheeky and brawl with the guy. And I mean, what do you do with Anderson Dos Santos? You don't brawl with the guy. That's the number one thing you don't do with him. And Ricky Simone did that. He got caught. He took his very first L. Now, in my opinion, if Ricky Simone and Anderson Dos Santos rematch, I mean, Simone wins that fight 9 out of 10 times. And honestly, it was a little fluky. So I think people are looking a little bit too much into that. Not only that, Andre Ewell is a completely different guy than Ricky Simone. You can make an argument that Andre Ewell has the better pure striking than Ricky Simone. I think Andre Ewell is going to use his footwork, stay away from Dos Santos, avoid the brawls, pick them apart, and probably avoid the lackluster takedown game, if there even is one, of Anderson Dos Santos. So, man, I think Ewell is he's going to pick him apart, man. Dos Santos, the way to win here is obviously takedowns and to make it a brawl. And I just don't think he's going to be able to do that. I see late in the fight, him just getting sloppy, a little tired, and Andre Ewell just landing a nasty counter shot and actually knocking out Anderson Dos Santos. I'll say in the later rounds, the third round. And if anything, man, I might even give him the cardio edge over Anderson Dos Santos as well. Not only just for conditioning reasons, just the fight styles. I see Dos Santos exerting a lot more energy, brawling, throwing huge overhands, failing on takedown attempts. So, yeah, I like Ewell by third round knockout. I'm going to have him on DraftKings for sure. And, fight doesn't go to decision is actually favorite, I want to say. It's minus 135, so this is definitely a fight to target on DK. I'm not going to say I'm not going to have any Dos Santos, but I'm favoring Ewell to get the job done, man. So moving on to the next fight. What order are we going on here? Wikipedia?
Yeah,
Darren?
So we got
Darren Winn. He's a minus 280 favorite taking on Eric Spicely, plus 240. obviously this fight just got made a few days ago. Spicy coming in here on extremely short notice, and I've actually seen a lot of people say this is a tougher fight than the newcomer Bruno Silva was, and I kind of disagree, man. I think Bruno Santos, or whatever his name is, Bruno Silva, I think he had a better shot than Eric Spicely here, just because I feel like Bruno was probably KO or bust, and then Eric Spicely he's probably bust here. And obviously, I mean, you look at the stylistic matchup, Winn is probably going to wrestle, and which leads into Spicely's game, but I mean, I don't know, man. I just like this Darren Winn guy a lot. I think he's going to do the right things. I think he's going to avoid the submission attempts. I mean, he's so strong, man. I feel like he's going to be able to power out of anything Spicely puts up, man. I mean, he's short, stocky. I mean, he's just going to be a hard guy to submit in general just because short limbs, fat neck. I mean, it's going to be hard to submit that guy. And I just think he's going to be throwing Spicely around. And, dude, even if he wants to just use his wrestling in reverse and not take Spicely down, I think he can come out here and outstrike Eric Spicely. So I got Darren Winn wherever the fight goes. Just avoid the submissions, and you should be cruising, man. I'm going to say Darren Winn will TKO him in the late second round.
Yeah, I 100% agree, man. I don't get why people on Twitter, people that, that we respect and all that, and, they're definitely, smart guys in the MMA community, but the fact that they're saying that Spicely is a tougher matchup than Bruno Silva, that's obnoxious in my opinion. I think Bruno Silva would destroy Eric Spicely. What you're gonna get from Spicely. Yeah, he has some good wins. He's beaten Italy. He's beaten Thiago Santos. He's beaten who else has he beaten? That's pretty good. Italy, Thiago Santos. I know he's beaten someone else.
Someone good. It's escaping my mind as well.
I know someone else pretty good. But anyways,
somebody he just beat on the regional scene like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that guy sucks though. Kyle
Magalhaes, yeah.
He knocked him out, but I mean that guy's been knocked out a lot. The thing with Spicely is that his striking is not good. His gas tank's not good. His chin is horrendous. This guy has no chin. He's a quitter. And the guy has a really good ground game. He has good submissions, good jiu-jitsu, but I think Darren Winn's better everywhere. I think Darren Winn's way better on the feet. He's way faster. If it hits the mat, which Spicely's not going to get him down. That's without a question. I mean, Winn could definitely take him down, but yeah, he needs to be worried. That's the only way Spicely wins the fight is on the ground. But I think he's going to knock him out in the first round. I think he's going to knock him out early in a couple of minutes. I think Darren Winn is too explosive for him. He hits like a truck. It's a great right hand. And this kid's been knocking out a lot of guys, man. I mean, and it's funny because we haven't even really seen his wrestling besides the last fight. I mean, his wrestling is legit, man. So I got Darren Winn. I think he goes out there and knocks out Spicely in about 2 minutes. And I think this guy's going to be a force to be reckoned with, man, at 185. I think he's going to go a long way. Even though he's really small, he's just like so strong and such a good wrestler, and his striking is really good too. So I got Darren Winn by finish, and he's going to be a DraftKings play for me. So next fight, a fight that we both have a bet on. We got Ariana Lipsky versus the Can, Molly McCann. And we both got really good lines, man. I know you got a better line than me, but I got Lipsky at minus 140, 3 units. And I think she's better wherever the fight goes. I think Molly McCann has a couple advantages besides I know I just said that, but let me back that up. I think Meatball has the better cardio. I think Meatball has a really good chin, but I think Lipsky is just the better striker. I think Lipsky she's more technical. I think that she has a good chin. I mean, both these girls have good chin, but I mean, Lipsky just kind of had an adrenaline dump against JoJo, man. She just got a little starstruck in her debut, but she fought a top 5 girl, man. I mean, you could say a top 10 girl, but JoJo arguably could have beat Shoot. That was a really close fight. JoJo's a good fighter, I'll say that. JoJo's levels above Molly McCann. And Lipsky actually hurt her in the first couple of minutes. She just stopped fighting. I think Lipsky could definitely hurt McCann. I don't see a lot of people that are breaking down this fight addressing the McCann beatdown. I mean, okay, not beatdown, I'm sorry. McCann won the fight against Cachoeira, but did you see her face? Like, her face was messed up bad, man. So, yeah, she can take a punch. She has a good chin, but in my opinion, she's going to get KO'd stiff soon, and I think it could happen here. I mean, Lipsky has really good striking. Obviously, she hasn't finished a girl in a long – I mean, she's a finisher, but it's against girls on the local scene. You know, she's 0-1 in the UFC, but obviously she lost to JoJo. I think she could definitely finish McCann here. I think if it hits the mat, I think you got to give the advantage to Lipsky. I don't think McCann can take her down. I think Lipsky can actually take her down. And Lipsky has an underrated ground game too. She has good submissions, and I just think she's going to hurt her on the feet, man. I mean, if they brawl, you got to give the advantage to Lipsky, but I think Lipsky could definitely, kind of fight smart and outstrike her. But I think she's a smoother striker. I think she's a smarter fighter, and I think she's going to find a way to get this to the mat and tap her out. So I got Lipsky hurting her on the feet and then getting her out of there on the mat. So I got Lipsky the second round finish. In my opinion, I don't think Molly McCann is this UFC material. You could sit here and say Lipsky's not that good either, but watching her fight against JoJo, I mean, in my opinion, you can't really judge her like that hard. She fought a top 5 girl in JoJo. Say what you want about JoJo. She's a good fighter. JoJo would smoke Molly McCann in under like 3 minutes. So I got Ariana Lipsky with a second round submission. What about you?
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I'm really kicking myself still for not sticking to my gut on Joanne Calderwood against Lipsky in her debut, because I want to say I even picked JoJo on Bro Picks, but man, I mean, talk about a tough debut. A top 10 chick. JoJo only recently lost her first fight at women's flyweight against Chukagian, who I want to say is like ranked 3rd or 4th in the world. Chukagian's a very good fighter. I mean, dude, to come in there, huge step up against a top 10 girl. That was a tough one for Lipsky, and now she's got a gift here, in my opinion, with Molly McCann. Man, I'm not convinced Molly McCann is really that much better than the regional girls that Lipsky was over there fighting in Europe in the old KSW world. But one thing I'll say about Molly McCann is I think she probably has the toughness advantage. Like they like to say over there across the pond in England, she's a tough old cunt, man. I mean, she throws bombs. She's got a chin on her. You're right. Her face did look like a disaster, like Sloth from Goonies out there after that fight against Priscilla Cachoeira. And I mean, we all know Priscilla Cachoeira is literally the bottom of the barrel of that division. And Molly McCann, I mean, she barely scraped by, man. And it's gonna take a lot more than just barely scraping by here against Ariane Lipsky. I think Lipsky's got way faster hands, just better technique on the feet. Like you said, if anyone's going to go out there and land takedowns, it's probably going to be Lipsky. She's got a better sub game, and you're right, man. She's probably got her beat everywhere except for like toughness, in my opinion. But yeah, I like Lipsky, man. We got a sick line. She's like minus 270, minus 280 now. I got 3 units at minus 135. That's my first of 2 plays so far for this card. So yeah, man, I got the Brazilian Lipsky here to get the victory. So moving on to the next fight. Oh, I'm gonna say Lipsky by I'll say submission too. I'll go with you, bro. Submission, second round. So moving on to the next fight, I'm actually gonna let you take this one first because you got to play on it. We got Jairzinho Rozenstruik minus 220 taking on Alan Crowder plus 180. Who you got, man?
Yeah, man. So I parlayed Rozenstruik with Suarez from last week, so now I'm going free balling with Rozenstruik straight. I believe I parlayed it minus 156 because Sammy Suarez is like minus 700. But yeah, man, I actually think Rozenstruik is definitely one of the most confident plays the night. I'm not the biggest heavyweight MMA better. Like obviously anything can happen in any fight, but I mean, heavyweight MMA, I mean they're big boys and anything can happen. You saw that tonight on Contender series. But I just think that Rozenstruik is going to absolutely destroy Alan Crowder. Crowder's chin is so bad. I mean, he's been knocked out 5 times, including the Greg Hardy one. And between me and you, he got knocked out against Greg Hardy. I mean, that was a DQ, but he was losing that fight. He didn't want to get back up from that. I mean, all these people on Twitter are saying that he was beating Hardy's ass. Like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, Hardy was beating him, man. And Hardy knocked him out, dude. So this guy's been knocked out 5 times, man. This guy has no chin at all. His striking is not good at all. He's sloppy. He's not even a grappler. He doesn't even have wrestling credentials. Like, his only way to win this fight is to take down Rozenstruik. And obviously, Beanie took him down twice. But if you watch that fight, you watch the first takedown, he didn't even really do anything. He got right back up after a minute. But the second takedown, he even reversed Albini, then got back up. But I just think Crowder has to go out there initially and take him down and control him on the map. I don't think it's going to happen. If Crowder takes him down, he could take him down. But I think Rozenstruik gets right back up. But on the feet, dude, is such a mismatch, man. Rozenstruik actually has a chin unlike Crowder. Rozenstruik is way more athletic. He's way more explosive. He's way faster. He has a very great jab, a good right hand, a good head kicks. I mean, you watch that fight with Albini. The first round was a little, like kind of feeling out process, and Albini took him down, and then the second round, I mean, when Rozenstruik turned it on, I mean, oh my god, dude, like he absolutely just destroyed Albini, dude. Albini has a pretty good chin too. I mean, well, he did until that. And between me and you, Albini's gonna get destroyed next week against our boy Cocaine Boss. But yeah, man, I just think Crowder's not UFC material. I think his chin is really bad, and that's what's gonna lose him the fight is durability. He can't take a punch, and Rozenstruik's one of the heaviest hitters in the division. You can sit here and say Rozenstruik's not gonna ever be a top 5 guy because his ground game and stuff, but I saw little improvements in his fight against Crowder. I mean, he got taken down the first time pretty easily, and then you watch the second takedown, he reversed Albini, who's a black belt. So obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say I bet Rozenstruik over curvy blades. Okay, I'm not stupid, but Crowder's not a wrestler. Crowder's a fighter who has no chin, and he tries to brawl with you, and he's just not good. Even if he takes down Rozenstruik, I won't even be worried because he's going to get back up and pound him out. So I'm going to go with Rozenstruik, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but I'm going to say Rozenstruik knocks him out in under 90 seconds. So I got Rozenstruik the 90-second KO. What about you?
All right, man. Yeah, honestly, I agree with you, man. I do not have Rozenstruik as a bet, but he is one of my biggest DraftKings play of the weekend, and the reason behind that, if you look at these odds, man, for this whole card, this one by far, and it's not even close, has the biggest fight doesn't go to decision odds at minus 365. It's obviously a fight that you have to target, and when you look into it, it's a pretty terrible fight for Alan Crowder. Let's just be honest here. And dude, there's so many guys that are priced a lot higher than Rozenstruik. We'll talk about the Luis Pena fight later on. He's 9,500. Dude, I can almost guarantee you Rozenstruik is going to score more points than Luis Pena, most likely. Yeah, man, the thing with Crowder, yeah, he's a brawler. I feel like way too many people are giving him a little too much credit against Greg Hardy. I mean, why are we giving him credit? I mean, what did he really even do? Not get knocked out in the first round, not get completely embarrassed? I mean,
took him down like once. Wow.
And newsflash, Greg Hardy is like a 4-0 extremely green fighter. I know he's athletically gifted, but we're not talking about a developed fighter. Now, this dude, Jairzinho Rozenstruik, maybe I missed it, but I don't think you mentioned it. This dude has like a 80 fight kickboxing career. I want to say he has like a 76-6 record, which is absolutely insane, like 64 knockouts. I mean, dude's heavily experienced, and on the feet, I mean, he's just got Crowder beat bad here. I mean, really the only way I see Crowder winning this is if Rozenstruik just fights a little too aggressively, throws a lot of bombs, misses, kind of gasses out. Crowder drags him to the mat and ground and pounds him. That's really the only scenario I see with Crowder winning, and it is heavyweight MMA. It's a little sketchy, but I think you made a good play on Rozenstruik there, man. I see him getting a late first-round knockout. I'll say he puts him away with the overhand right about 4.5 minutes into the first round. So, yeah, good play there, man. So moving on to the next one. Oh, it is this next one. We got Luis Pena. He is minus 380. He's taking on the handsome one, Matt Wiman, plus 315. Matt Wyman's back after 5 years. Holy shit. Dude, his last fight against Isaac Valley Flag, I think that was like early 2014, I want to say. That's when I like really started like investing my time in MMA and like started researching the fights and making wagers and all that stuff. Around the same time I first really got into it, and I haven't seen him since, and now he's finally back here and he's fighting Luis Pena. Luis Pena is heavily favored. He's the biggest favorite on DraftKings. Like I said, he's 9,500. But I mean, the thing is, so the fight doesn't go to decision odds on this one. So it's favored to go to decision actually at minus 125, which means it's probably going to go to decision if it is favored that way. And Weiman is a really tough guy to finish. And Pena, in my opinion, has looked a little lackluster. So to match that 9,500 DK salary, I think that's going to be a really tall order to ask for, especially since the more I look into this fight, man, I think Matt Wiman, I mean, I think he's going to give Pena a lot of problems here. I mean, this is by far the most experienced guy, the guy that has seen the most looks that Pena has fought here in Matt Wiman. I know it's been 5 years and it's nearly impossible to trust the guy, and that's why nobody's betting him and all the money is coming in on Pena. But I mean, shit. I mean, on my side, dude, obviously it's a huge pass betting wise, but on DraftKings, I actually took a couple punts on Matt Wiman here, man, just because I feel like, I mean, if his chin's still there, if he's still, I mean, if he's still even half the fighter he once was, he should be able to go out there and land at least a couple takedowns. Now, whatever he is able to do with them, that's on him. I mean, he's fighting a freak, man. I mean, this fight's at 155, though, I want to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so still even a 6'3" lightweight. That's still a huge fucking lightweight, man. I still can't believe he tried to make 145 pounds. But I mean, Luis Pena. I mean, whatever you want to say about him, he's definitely got holes. He's still green. He's been a little disappointing, but he's still that next generation of fighter, and he's most likely going to be able to come out here and just be the younger guy, throw more volume, and just do more, in my opinion. So. Although I think Matt Wiman might have a couple of moments here, I got to go with Luis Pena, man. No surprise. I'm going to go with the minus 380 favorite. I'm going to say he wins a 29-28 unanimous decision. I think the 2 rounds he wins, he's going to be able to keep it on the feet and just keep the range and jab up Pena or jab up Wiman, land some kicks. And the round Wiman wins, I think he's going to get Pena down and probably hold him down. So it's closer than the odds indicate, man.
Yeah, this is a weird fight. I think the game is, passed up Matt Wiman. The guy hasn't fought in a very long time. He's a brawler. He's a fun fighter. He had a good UFC record. His last fight with Isaac Paiva was a good fight back and forth. It was a close fight too, but I mean, I do think Wiman won the fight. Wiman has, he's a grappler. He has good takedowns. It wouldn't be surprised me if he took down Luis Pena. I mean, Pena can get taken down pretty easily, but. Like I mentioned, the game has cast Weiman up. Wyman's so old; he hasn't fought in 5 years. Pena's the fresher fighter. Pena's the more active fighter. Pena's the better striker. Pena's the more durable guy. Pena's way more athletic. So I think Pena's going to dance out there and land some good strikes. He could he take down Wiman? I don't know. I would be pretty surprised if he took down Wiman, but Wiman could take him down. But I think he's going to get right back up. I think he just has a big advantage in the feet. So, but I don't think he's going to finish him. So I'm going to go with Luis Pena for the decision, and I'm going to pass for DraftKings personally.
So one more thing I want to add. So looking at these bottom 5 priced fighters, I mean, in your opinion, who has the best chance to win out of these 5 fighters? Matt Wiman, Eric Spicely, Randy Brown, Molly McCann, and Alan Crowder.
I'm going to go none of the above out of all 5.
With who?
None of the above.
You got to pick one, man.
If I had to pick one out of all of them, I'd have to go with Wiman, to be honest.
And he's the lowest priced out of those 5. He's 6,700. So I mean, if you're the kind of guy that makes a lot of lineups, he's the one you're going to want to punt this weekend. Because even in a loss, it's probably going to go to decision. He's probably going to land a couple takedowns. So take that 30 points.
Yeah, man. So next fight, this is actually a fight that I think you got a target on DraftKings. We got Kevin Aguilar versus Dan Ige. And it's a good matchup. This is your pure striker versus a grappler. Ige's definitely impressed me. I mean, I can't fade this guy. I mean, I think I'm like 0-2 fading him. His striking's improved. The thing with him is he's a great grappler. He has a great ground game. A little small for the division, but he makes up for it with his athleticism. Good chin, but the thing with him is that his gas tank's just not the best. His striking isn't the best. And when you're fighting a guy like Kevin Aguilar who whoa, I thought he was going to have a very competitive fight with Barzola, but he went out there and beat Barzola's ass, and I just didn't see that coming. I mean, Aguilar has improved a lot. Like, people give him, a lot of, hate because he lost to Leonard Garcia. That was a long time ago. He was beating Garcia's ass, and he got caught. And you can't sit here and say he has a bad chin. He actually has a really good chin. That's what he's known for. And his gas tank is way better than Dan Ige's. So, on the feet, it's a mismatch in my opinion. I don't think Ige is a bad striker. He has a good right hand. He has power. He just knocked out Henry. But we were wrong about Denny Henry. We thought he was going to win some fights and, be pretty good. But, he's kind of a fraud, man, to be honest. And Kevin Aguilar is the way more tactical striker. I mean, he's a brawler, but you don't want to brawl with him, dude. He wins, all of his brawls. And he's just so tactical on the feet, man. Such a good right hand. Great takedown defense. He's a good grappler, too. But the thing is, Ige has to get the fight to the mat. It's a pure striker versus grappler. yeah, he might be able to get Kevin down maybe once or twice, but is he going to be able to control him? I don't think so. We saw Joey Gomez control him a little bit on Contender Series, but that was up a weight class on short notice, and Gomez is way bigger than Ige. So I think Aguilar is going to pour it on him bad. I think the later the fight goes, you have to give it to Aguilar. I think Ige has to get a first-round finish here, and I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to knock him out. He has to get him down, tap him out when they're fresh. I don't think it's going to happen. So I got Kevin Aguilar with a finish. I think he's going to score a lot of points on DraftKings. And, you know, man, I'm really high in this guy, man. I think he could definitely be a top 15, top 10 guy. I think if he fought Shane Burgos, like, oh, my God, dude. Like, I was thinking about that, like, yesterday. I was like, who would I got if Shane Burgos fought Kevin Aguilar? And then I really thought about it hard. I'm like, as much as I like Shane Burgos, like, I'm high on the guy, I might have to go to Aguilar if they fight, dude. So I got Kevin Aguilar winning this fight. And I got Kevin Aguilar making, you know, some waves in the 145-pound division.
Man, I completely agree with everything you said, man. I got Kevin Aguilar here as well. I've actually cashed on him multiple times. I want to say I bet him at like plus 200 range against Damon Jackson. I bet him against Tom Lee in LFA. Obviously, I bet him against Rick Glenn. Kind of sad I didn't bet him against Enrique Barzola because that was a very, very good performance. Now, here against Dan Ige, man. Dan Ige is another guy I've cashed on in the past. I'm a huge fan of both these guys, but when I throw all the bias out the window and think about how do these two guys match up, what's going to happen? Well, I mean, when it comes to the striking, I think Kevin Aguilar, he's got the more technical boxing. I feel like he throws more volume. Ige's got a powerful right hand though. Like this dude, if you're not a UFC caliber fighter, Dan Ige is the kind of guy to go out there and like destroy you. Now, he's fighting a UFC caliber fighter here in Kevin Aguilar. And, you know, the last time we saw Dan Ige against a real legitimate fighter was Julio Arce. And, you know, Julio Arce completely won a clear decision, in my opinion. Now, how they match up, I feel like Kevin Aguilar, he's the better striker. And then Ige, he's probably the better jiu-jitsu guy. I mean, probably by far. But problem is, just like the Anderson Dos Santos fight, I just feel like he doesn't really have that elite wrestling to get it to where he wants it. I know he's a brown belt in judo as well, so I think Kevin Aguilar needs to be careful about mind his P's and Q's in the clinch because I could see Dan Ige landing a trip there. But, man, I like Kevin Aguilar. I think he's going to come out here and execute a great game plan, you know, use footwork and pretty much jab this guy up and pick him apart for 15 minutes or maybe even a late finish. So, and you're right about Aguilar can outlast him, and with Ige going out and probably shooting takedowns and failing on him, I think that's going to also cause his gas tank to deteriorate faster than Aguilar's as well. So I'm actually going to go with Kevin Aguilar here. I'm going to say he gets a third round TKO, and he most likely is going to be my third and final bet for this card. Haven't done it yet, but he probably will. I'm pretty high on him in this spot. So yeah, Kevin Aguilar, third round TKO. So moving on to the next fight, man. We got a women's strawweight bout here. We got Ashley Yoder, minus 120, taking on Siori Kondo, plus 100. I mean, this is a pretty basic, easy fight to break down here. I mean, we got the striker versus grappler. And, you know, my pre-fight initial thoughts was, I mean, again, you got a really good grappler, but I don't know if they have the great wrestling behind it in Yoder. And then Kondo, I feel like Siori Kondo is probably going to pick apart Ashley Yoder for as long as it's on the feet. So I think the striker is going to be able to keep it on the feet and pick apart the grappler on the feet for 15 minutes. But, I mean, the more I look into it, man, I mean, Siori Kondo really is not that great. And am I going to be even a sliver surprised if Ashley Yoder probably gets her down a couple times, maybe even locks in a sub? I can't say I would, man. Now, I do kind of disagree with the line. I think it should be the other way around. I think Siori Kondo should be a minus 120 favorite, and I'm still going to go with my gut. I am going to pick her to win this fight via a 29-28 split decision, but, I mean, be careful. And then when it comes to DraftKings, I think it would probably have to be Yoder or bust there because Kondo ain't finishing shit, and then Yoder, I mean, her path is probably to get a submission. So it's probably Yoder or pass on DK, and then, yeah, kind of a bathroom break fight anyway, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't really care about this fight. It's a short breakdown for me. This fight doesn't really intrigue me at all. Two jobbers, two girls at the bottom of the division. striker versus grappler matchup. Kondo being the striker, Yoder being the grappler. Yeah, I know Yoder switched her training camp. She's not training at Team Quest anymore. Her striking's is not that good. Yeah, she dropped Mackenzie Dern, but I mean, come on, dude. Like that was kind of that was just like she just like threw a haymaker and dropped Mackenzie Dern. Like I like Mackenzie Dern. I can't wait to see her back. But I mean, who won that fight? Mackenzie Dern. People saying that Yoder won that fight. No, she didn't.
No.
I think Yoder could definitely take down Kondo. I think Kondo could definitely outstrike her. It's just I don't even care. So I'm gonna go with Yoder by split, just because I think she's hotter. But that's about it. That's not the reason why I'm picking her. I think she's gonna win because she has the better grappling. So next fight we got. Yeah, this is one of the best fights of the card, man. We got Alessio de Chirico, aka Italy, versus Kevin Holland, and it's a great fight, man. Definitely, I have like 4 plays in this card. I have 12 units worth, so I can't bet any more fights. I told myself I can't do it. But if I did have one more, I think it would be in this fight. It's a close fight. Like I think both these guys are good. I think one guy definitely has a lot more potential than the other one, but I think both of them are good. Like I don't think either of them are bad. I think they're both no slouch. I think both of them are good fighters, high ceilings. But Kevin Holland, man, this guy has so much potential in my opinion. I think that he messes around so much. I think he might have to go to 170 in the future. I think if he did, it would be a good move on his part. I mean, he can still be good at 185. Like look what he did against Thiago Santos on his short notice debut. Like he looked good in that fight. He won a round. He lost a decision. I mean, he almost tapped him out. He actually hurt Thiago Santos on the feet. But yeah, Kevin Holland, man, he's a great striker, great technical man striking. I mean, great athleticism. He's so fast. I mean, good jab, good right hand, good pressure. He really just like talks to you, man. He's like the Diaz brother at 185, the Diaz at 185. There was a lot of volume too, man. I mean, he hurt John Phillips multiple times in that fight. He has a great chin. That's one thing I like about Kevin Holland is this guy will take a punch and he's no quitter. This dude's a beast. And he actually has a really good ground game. Like the guy's a legit brown belt. I mean, the thing with him against Gerald Mearshart is Mearshарт's probably the better grappler on paper. But Kevin Holland wanted to prove a point, and he kept on going for that takedown. He kept on trying to out-grapple him. And, yeah, Holland won the fight. But the thing is, you watch that fight again, like, oh, my God, Holland was messing him up on the feet. If Holland actually, quit trying to go, did not go for the takedown, oh, my God, dude. Holland would have got a finish in that fight easily. I mean, GM3 was done. You see his cardio? That's one thing about Holland. His cardio is really good, man. Italy, we'll talk about Italy real quick. I think he's definitely, probably has more power on the feet. I think he's a tactical striker. I think Italy has a great chin. You saw the win against Julian Marquez, good win. But, yeah, he gasses, man. He really does. I think he's, a really tough guy. I think he probably has the better wrestling. But the more I think about it, I don't think he should go out there and try to take down Kevin Holland. I think if he takes down Kevin Holland, I think Holland's probably going to reverse him and go on top. And I think Holland could actually submit him off his back. Holland has the way better jiu-jitsu. Holland has nasty jiu-jitsu. And the thing is, on the feet, I think that's Italy's best chance. He can maybe win a close decision, and all that. But it's one of those fights, man, that I've been going back and forth. My heart says that Kevin Holland's going to win. But, man, my gut and my heart are two different things. So I'm going to go with Italy winning a close split decision. But I think Kevin Holland could actually win this fight, and then they're going to give it to Italy. So I think Italy could actually land the harder shots on the feet, maybe get some takedowns and stuff. But I think Kevin Holland definitely could throw more, definitely land the more volume, and definitely even tap out Italy. But I'm gonna go with Italy with the split. But I think Kevin Holland could definitely win this fight. What about you?
Yeah, man. I mean, I know when you look at this fight on paper, I mean, you see Holland. He's the better athlete for sure. Even on the records, I feel like he has the better wins, like Gerald Mearshart and even Jeff Neal back in the day. I feel like you got to have Kevin Holland as a favorite here. Now, at current odds, though, and make my DraftKings lineups today, I mean, at 8,800, I actually found myself taking a little bit more Alessio Di Chirico in DraftKings, and that's not to say there's any kind of confidence behind that. I mean, you just got to fill these underdog spots, and when you see value, even if it's a little bit, I mean, especially at dog odds, you got to take it there, man. So, I mean, from a betting perspective, I'm good, but yeah, I got a little bit of D Chirico. I feel like he can give Kevin Holland problems here. Now, you're definitely right. He probably can take Holland down, but is that really the best idea in the world? I mean, who knows? It might be. Who knows? I mean, he might be able to hold him down, land some ground and pound, stall it out a little bit, and then on the feet, I mean, Holland's fucking huge, man. And you're right. His hands are so fast. He puts together these nice combos. It's just, is he going to fuck around again? Because, I mean, he probably will. That's what he does. So, I mean, why in the world would you want to take this guy in the minus 200s against a pretty respectable dude? I mean, I want to give Alessio Di Chirico credit. I feel like he's improved a lot since like the Gareth McClellan win where he absolutely made me sweat my balls off there. I had a huge bet on that was probably like my biggest bet at the time, like ever. It was only like 4 units, but it was a big one for me at the time, and he was making me sweat. It was close against that complete jobber South African dude, and I don't know, man. It's going to be a crazy fight. I feel like it's closer than the odds indicate, but I'm going to go with Kevin Holland here. I'm going to say he wins close 29-28 split decision. But if you want to take those dog odds on Italy, I don't completely blame you because, I mean, Kevin Holland does like to give away certain spots in the fight, and who knows what can happen. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Holland, but it's close. So moving on to the next fight, man, we got Andrea KGB Lee, minus 225, taking on Montana De La Rosa, plus 185. I believe you got a play, Justin. Who you got?
Yeah, man. So I got KGB Lee, 3 units at minus 130. This is definitely one of my most confident picks tonight. I do think that De La Rosa is not a bad fighter. I don't think she's a jobber. You know, she's definitely looked impressive in the last couple fights. I think that she's going to win fights. I don't think she's ever going to get cut. Like, she's not a jobber, okay? She's no slouch. But in this matchup, man, I think KGB just destroys her on the feet. I think that she has really nasty striking. I mean, she has a kickboxing background. I mean, she's so nasty in the clinch, man. I think her knees and the body are really going to wear down Montana, man. Talk about the matchup. Montana's a good wrestler. She has good grappling credentials. But the thing is, Andrea Lee has great wrestling, too. She's a freaking brown belt in judo, man. So can Montana take her down? Yeah, but I mean, I really think she's not going to be able to control her. I mean, Ashley Evans Smith is a great grappler, and she took her down, I think, once or twice, and she got right back up. Montana De La Rosa, she beat Nadia Kassem, a good win, but Nadia's terrible, man. She was losing to Rachel Ostovich in that fight, and then Ostovich just quit like she always does, and then gave her the win. Montana's striking is just not that good. It's definitely improved, but I don't think it's nowhere near KGB's level. KGB's the way bigger fighter. She's way faster on the feet. She's more technical. She has a great jab. She has those nasty kicks in the body. She's nasty in the clinch. Like I mentioned, she has a judo background. To be honest, I don't know if it's much of a stretch, but I actually think KGB could actually take down Montana, to be honest. She has good wrestling, too. She has good grappling. She's a brown belt in BJJ. This girl's on a 6-fight winning streak. She only lost to Roxy in a very close decision a long time ago. And then she lost to a girl that TKO'd Amanda Nunez. So I think KGB is definitely on the incline. I think that she's definitely going to be, in my opinion, a top 5 girl in the division. I think Montana De La Rosa is going to keep on winning fights too. But you're going out there and losing to Nico Montano, like, on tough. Like, yeah, she's improved a lot since then. But come on, that was an embarrassing loss. And then the Ostovich, man, that was 2 fights ago, dude. Ostovich was winning that fight. I'm telling you right now. And I don't know what it is with Montana, man. Like, her striking just not good, in my opinion. And both these girls have been subbed before. She's a purple belt on in BJJ. I think that she could definitely, take down KGB. But the thing is, I just don't think she's going to be able to control her. And if she does, KGB's getting right back up. And I actually think KGB's going to go out there and take her down as well. This fight's really interesting because they're actually friends. And, I watched the interview on James Lynch. The KGB said she didn't want to take the fight because they're friends. But then she said, it's business. I got to take the fight. So I think KGB is just going to hurt her on the feet really bad. I know Montana has a good chin, but she's been finished before by sub and by TKO. Cynthia Calvillo knocked her out. So I'm going to go with KGB with the finish. I think she's really going to hurt the body bad. Montana's going to be desperate going for that takedown. And we're gonna see KGB's BJJ here, man. We saw it against Veronica Macedo. I know she's not good, but between me and you, she's gonna absolutely smoke Rachel Ostovich. I think KGB's gonna tap her out. I think KGB's gonna hurt her on the feet. I think that Montana's gonna get desperate, go for a takedown. She's gonna get tapped out. So I got KGB Lee with the submission. And the funny thing is, KGB has like 6 wins by sub. Like this girl has legit ground game. People act like she's just a striker because I mean she's a striker. I mean she's a great striker, but this girl has a judo background. This girl has good BJJ. I think Montana has the better wrestling, but I think KGB has the better jiu-jitsu, man. And I actually think she's going to surprise some people and get that submission win. So I got KGB, the second round submission win. And in my opinion, I know some people won't agree with me. I don't think you will because I know you're high on Montana, but she's a must-own on DraftKings. I think she's going to get over 100 points.
Ooh,
what about you?
That's bold, buddy. Well, I agree with you in some parts and not in others. I definitely don't think it's the wipeout you're making it to be, but when I look at it stylistically, so yeah, on the feet, I think both girls have made huge improvements on the feet. I mean, they both come a long way. They both have really long careers. I think the future is bright for both of them, to be honest here. It's just on the feet, I think KGB has her beat a little bit. In the wrestling, I feel like KGB has her beat a little bit. And then on the mat, I mean, I feel like it's pretty even. So, I mean, when I look at all aspects of the fight game, I do favor KGB in most of those, but only by a little bit, man. I just feel like it's going to be a very closely contested fight where KGB just slightly edges it out. So I don't necessarily agree with the high odds. I know you got a pretty good line, so that's good. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really high on Montana. I know it's Nadia Kassem and everything, but I mean, she showed a lot of improvements in her striking, and then obviously her jiu-jitsu is absolutely fucking nasty. So, I mean, both girls definitely have to mind their P's and Q's down there, but I really see it being a fourth fight. I'm going to say KGB wins a 30-27 unanimous decision, but I think all 3 of those rounds will be very, very close. So I do think you'll win, but I'm high on my girl Montana, and I'm high on KGB too, man. I mean, you look at KGB's career. I mean, she's been in there with some pretty good girls. Fighting Roxanne Modaffari in your 3rd pro fight when she has literally 10 times the amount of fights that KGB did. I mean, that's a pretty ballsy move taking that fight. And then Montana De La Rosa. I mean, she's been going out there fighting girls like Cynthia Calvillo since before even being in the UFC, man. And she's only 24 years old. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can only expect more and more improvements. So I'm not completely sold on KGB, man, but it's a good fight. She'll win a close one. So moving on to the next fight, we got. It's going to load for a sec. All right, we got the big one, man. We got Brian Barberena -270 taking on Randy Brown +230. Man, so this is the play for me, man. I got Brian Barberena here pretty big. Just the way I see it going down, man. I feel like Brian Barberena on one side, he's everything you look for in a fighter. I mean, he's tough as nails, has a great chin. He goes for it, man. He's the kind of guy that fights for your money. I mean, he's the ultimate underdog. I mean, this is one of the very few times we've actually seen him here in the UFC as a big favorite. He normally is the underdog and has came through as the underdog multiple times. Completely forgot where my train of thought was. But yeah, man, Brian Barberena is everything you look for in a fighter. And then on the other side, Randy Brown, he's everything you look for in an athlete. Now the problem is they're fighting, not playing tennis. So I'm going to have to favor the fighter, Brian Barberena here, man. I just feel like on the feet, he's definitely going to close that range on Randy Brown. He's going to get on the inside. The thing about Randy Brown, dude, like, yeah, he's huge. He has a big reach advantage, but I mean, so is Stefan Struve. He doesn't know how to use his reach advantage. Neither really does Randy Brown. I mean, how often have we seen Randy Brown go and pick a guy apart at range? It just doesn't really happen, man. I mean, the guy hasn't really put it together yet, and I have no reason to believe why he will. So I believe Brian Barberena, a guy who's so great at getting on the inside and landing those big power punches, I feel like he's definitely going to be able to go in there and do that and test that chin of Randy Brown. And when we talk about that chin, of Randy Brown, I mean, if you guys have not seen his last fight where, I mean, we're talking about something that has literally, this is the only time it's ever happened in the UFC, being on top of a guy and getting KO'd by hammer fist from the bottom. Now, I know you want to, people will say, oh, that's Nico Price. He has this crazy power. Well, I completely guarantee you that the overhands on the feet of Brian Barberena are a hell of a lot harder than the hammer fist from the bottom of Nico Price. I mean, that's just an embarrassing way to lose. And in my opinion, going out there getting hammer fisted from bottom, going out there losing rounds to Eric Montano. I mean, these are the kind of things that put Randy Brown on the list of jokes, in my opinion. I feel like this guy is probably going to end up getting his walking papers here pretty soon. He's taken a huge step up, which is crazy. I mean, Brian Barberena, I want to say, is probably 10 or 20 spots ahead of Nico Price in the big rankings there. I mean, Brian Barberena is a legit fucking dude. I mean, we just saw how good Worley Alves looked against Serginho Moraes. Brian Barberena, unanimous decision, Worley Alves in Brazil. I mean, the dude's a complete badass. And, you know, when he comes out, and I know people want to talk about the comebacks. Brian Barberena is known for some comebacks, but when Barberena fights lower competition, like the Joe Proctors, like the Ellenbergers, he does go out there and smoke guys and, you know, show them what's up. Like, you do not belong in the cage with me. And I believe that's the case here, man. I don't think Randy Brown belongs in the cage with Brian Barberena. I feel like he gets to him on the feet, knocks him out. As far as wrestling and grappling advantages go, I mean, I kind of feel like if anyone comes out here and lands a takedown, it's probably going to be Brian Barberena. I mean, Randy Brown has super suspect takedown defense, bro. Like, watch that Eric Montano fight. And don't say he's made improvements, because, I mean, what improvements? I mean, have you really seen him stuff takedowns since then? I mean, not really. But I don't even think Brian Barberena needs to take that route, man. He's gonna knock Randy Brown out in the first round. I'll say 4 minutes in. Who you got?
Yeah, I actually agree with everything that you said, except one thing I don't agree with at all. You said that Barberena is higher in the rankings than Nico Price. If they thought I got Nico Price in that fight, I think Nico Price would actually put him away.
Oh, we know you love Nico Price.
Yeah, I'm really high on Nico Price, but there's a couple things there I don't agree with that you said about him. Another thing is, too, he has awkward power, man. I mean, yeah, like, you shouldn't be getting knocked out off the bottom and all that, but I mean, it only took like a couple of punches and he was actually out, and he actually hit him more. Like, it was a really bad knockout, but you can't take anything away of Nico Price, okay? He has awkward power. We just did the Tim Means. Who has ever knocked out Tim Means? Nobody. So I think a lot of people are sleeping on Nico Price's power, to be honest. But and let's talk about the matchup. Obviously, the only thing I'm concerned about in this fight is one thing that you didn't bring up is you know, that he just took a beating 4 months ago. You know, he took a lot of damage in that fight. You know, I bet Luque there, and to be honest, I was really sweating because, I mean, it was in Arizona, okay? If that fight would have hit the scorecards, it would have won the Barberena. Do I agree with that? No, I think Luque should have won. Luque was winning the fight, in my opinion, but they were going to give it to Barberena if that would hit the scorecards, and Luque finished him within a minute left, and he really hurt him in the body. That's one thing that I've thought about, like, going forward is Barberena's, you know, he's chubby, man. Like, he doesn't have, like, abs or anything. Like, you should go to the body against a guy like that. So I think Randy Brown's definitely going to probably, like, try to take advantage of that and, you know, use his knees in the clinch, maybe use his kicks. But you talk about the matchup, like, let's put that in the back, okay? Because that is a red flag in my opinion. I do think that all that durability, like, he has a great chin, Barberena, but I'm worried a little bit. I mean, you know, like, he just took a beating. Randy Brown is a striker. Like, he has power for sure. Like, he's knocked out guys, you know. He's definitely more athletic than Barberena, but the thing is, Barberena is more tactical, in my opinion. Barberena has more power. I mean, Barberena is, you know, not the guy that's going to go out there and let Randy Brown dictate the pace and let Randy Brown, like, you know, outstrike him. Barberena's going to get in his face. And one thing I've learned about Randy Brown, he doesn't like to get hit. He really doesn't. Does he have a chin anymore? Like, yeah, you can say Barberena's chin could definitely be a little, like, different now because he took that beating, but I mean, Barberena will fight for your money. He has heart for days, and he has cardio for days. And Randy Brown doesn't really have the best cardio. Randy Brown doesn't have the best heart. I mean, I take Barberena in the heart department all over Randy Brown, and I think Barberena is just going to break him. I really do, man. I think Randy, in my opinion, I know I said Randy Brown needs to go out there and, you know, work that body, but the more I think about it, I think Randy Brown needs to go out there and try to take him down because I think Randy Brown, has underrated wrestling, and I mean that's how you beat Barberena, you take him down. But look at the guys that beat him with the wrestling: Colby Covington, Leon Edwards. I mean, he even hurt Leon Edwards, man. And yeah, Colby took him down at will, but Barberena didn't really get control of him in that. Like if you rewatch that fight, Colby took him down 14 times, but did he ever control him? Not really. And Barberena actually almost got a nice guillotine on him in that fight. Barberena's good jiu-jitsu too, but I think Barberena's cardio is going to be too much. I just think that he's going to get in his face, man. He's going to hurt Randy Brown, and he's going to get him out of there. That pressure, man, is just going to break him, in my opinion, man. And even with the 4-month layoff and with all that damage he took, he's still more durable than Randy Brown. He still has one of the best chins in the UFC. But I mean, if he was fighting a a guy with knockout power like Nico Price, then yeah, I'd be a little more worried. But Randy Brown, he's one of those guys that he had so much potential, man, but he's a kind of a fraud in my opinion, man. And I mean, he's athletic. I'll give him that. He's definitely more athletic than Barberena, but between me and you, everybody's going to be more athletic than Barberena, but that doesn't even matter, man. Barberena's just a dog, dude. So I'm going to go with Barberena, and I think he's going to get him out of there, and I think he's going to break him. I got him with the second round TKO. So next fight, we got John Lineker versus Robbie Font. Great fight. The fight just got put together. Supposed to be Font against Stamen. I know you had 100 units on Font versus Stamen, and that would have been a good fight. I probably would have had Font there for sure, but pre-tape. But let's talk about this fight. This is a rematch. I mean, Lineker beat his ass the first fight, and Lineker's coming off a very close decision loss against Sandhagen. Could have gone either way. I actually bet Sandhagen there, but could have gone either way. Lineker's still a beast. I think Lineker has improved since the Rob Font fight. I mean, I think Lineker's still a top 10 guy. And I don't know how Font's going to win this fight besides get a knockout, but I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, you know what? Lineker, he has a really good chin, and he definitely takes a lot of damage. Are we ever going to see him get knocked out in the UFC? To be honest, I think he could get KO'd, in the future, but I don't think it happens here. But, I mean, that's Font's path to victory. Font's not going to go out there and out-wrestle him. Font's not going to go out there and outstrike him. Font has to get a KO, in my opinion, and could happen. I mean, the guy has, Diamondite in his hands, but you know who also has Diamond in his hands? John Lineker. And I think John Lineker is more technical. I think John Lineker is, the more explosive athlete. I think he's faster. I think Lineker could actually take him down, too. I mean, he did the first fight. I mean, John Lineker's wrestling is underrated. He has good jiu-jitsu, too. The guy almost tapped out Sandhagen. I mean, to be honest, a lot of guys would have been tapped out by that. But Sandhagen's just a dog, man. Sandhagen, that guy has probably, the most heart in the division at 135. That guy is a beast. That guy, is going to beat a Sunstop, too. I like Corey Sandhagen a lot. But I'm improved. I've been impressed with Rob Font. He went out there and looked really good against Sergio Pettis. He was beating Pedro Muno's ass, and then he got caught with the guillotine. But I think Font's really technical on the feet. I think Font could get a knockout. I mean, I don't think he's going to win a decision, but I don't think Lineker is going to smoke him. I think it could be a close fight, but I think Lineker's going to get it done, man. I got to go with John Lineker with either a late TKO or a decision, but I think Font could definitely have some moments there. What about you?
Man, so yeah, this is a really good rematch. Obviously, just got put together. You mentioned the Cody Stamen fight. I actually did have 3 units on Rob Font against Stamen, plus 125 and plus 145 odds. That was crazy to me. I figured he would just be able to stuff the takedowns, or if anything, if Stamen does get takedowns on him. I mean, Stamen doesn't really do anything with his takedowns when he gets guys down, and I feel like the shots Font would land on the feet would mean a lot more. So I thought he was definitely going to win that fight. And then here, man, so the first time they fought, I mean, it was just everything going against Rob Font. It's in Brazil. He's a fresh new guy in the UFC against a extremely tough ranked John Lineker, and obviously John Lineker was a big favorite in that fight. Won a unanimous decision. Hey, Font was able to go 15 minutes with a ranked guy early in his UFC or not his debut, but early in his career. Now I kind of feel like things are going more towards Font, man. I mean, you got John Lineker coming in here on short notice. It's not in Brazil this time. Font has definitely improved since then. I mean, that win against Sergio Pettis, I mean, that was just an absolute ass-kicking. Font has really put it all together, man. I believe he's in the prime of his career now. He's a legit, probably top 10, top 12 guy. And I mean, I don't want to say John Lineker is regressing. I don't want to say he's declining, but I feel like he's probably seen better days, and his hopes at maybe a title shot have kind of wilted away just a little bit. So I feel like if there was ever a time Rob Font would come in here and beat John Lineker, it would be this one here with Lineker on short notice. So I mean, I have all the reason to believe it's going to be closer than it was last time. So I do think the odds are a little bit off. It's just, I mean, dude, it's John Lineker. The dude is an absolute beast. He just bullies guys in the octagon, puts fears in the eyes of serious athletes, and it's probably what he's going to end up doing here, man. He's probably going to stalk down Rob Font, land the bigger shots over the course of 15 minutes. Now, I kind of disagree with you on the fact that Rob Font's KO or bust. I feel like he can definitely stick to the plan of footwork and just jabbing this guy up and low kicks. I feel like he could come out here and win a volume-based decision if he uses his footwork properly and avoids the big bombs. So I don't know. I feel like it's going to be closer than last time, but it's definitely hard for me to pick against John Lineker. So I'm going to have a little bit of Rob Font in DraftKings just because his price is so good. Lineker at the 8,900, I want to say he's at. I feel like a decision win probably won't. Actually, you know what? Let me pull this up real quick while I'm talking this fight. I'm kind of eager to see what John Lineker scored against Rob Font the first time. It's definitely a really good fight, man, if this will load for me. So Rob Font, John Lineker, the first time they fought, John Lineker scored 87 points. So even if he matches that again this time, that's not going to 10x that 8,900 salary. So I feel like there's definitely a lot better spots than him. He is going to be my pick, though. I mean, he's John's hands of stone Lineker, man. He's a beast. So I'll say he wins a 29-28 split decision. But, man, do not sleep on Rob Font because he is a serious dude and one of the best boxers in the division, in my opinion. So moving on to the main event of the evening, 5 rounds in the UFC's featherweight division. I'm really excited for this one, man. I'm huge fans of both these guys. Obviously, Korean Zombie. I mean, you look at his wars back in the day with the Leonard Garcias and the Dustin Poiriers. I mean, just great, legendary fights. And then obviously coming back after 4 years and knocking out ranked Dennis Bermudez in the first round. And even that amazing 5-round fight against Yair Rodriguez where Korean Zombie was about to win a 49-46 decision there. And Yair Rodriguez landed the holy grail of all Hail Marys in MMA history there with that elbow, like in the last 30 seconds. I mean, I definitely don't want to call that a fluke. And I saw some people say, Yair Rodriguez didn't mean to throw that elbow. He was just going crazy. Dude, he was throwing that elbow all damn fight. That was he meant to do that shit. He knew what he was doing. I mean, we're talking about one of the most creative fighters in the UFC in Yair Rodriguez and a legitimate, I'd probably say top 15, top 20 guy at worst in Rodriguez. Now, and like I said, KZ was on his way to winning a decision there, but man, here against Renato Moicano, I mean, Moicano, we're talking about one of the best point strikers in the entire division, man. You know, he's huge for the weight class. That jab is unreal. Those calf kicks are unreal. I mean, the dude knows how to outstrike people. And then obviously he's got that jiu-jitsu in his back pocket. Moicano is one of the best underrated BJJ players in the division. But thing is, so's Korean Zombie, dude. I have a feeling we're probably not going to see it, but I am praying to the MMA gods we are going to see these guys grapple because it's going to be a fucking treat, in my opinion, if we get to see these guys go out there and grapple. But I kind of see it staying on the feet, man. And even on the feet with Moicano being such an amazing point striker, I feel like he does have a problem with guys that come out there and pressure him. Now, Jeremy Stevens, for whatever reason, against Moicano, and I bet Moicano there. I actually bet Moicano to win via decision, to be specifically. I got that at like crazy odds. But Jeremy Stevens, for whatever reason, didn't show the normal aggression that he really normally does. And then obviously Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar was looking pretty good against Moicano, but dude, Moicano just figured him out and started lighting him up. And then obviously Jose Aldo put some pressure on Moicano and completely broke the biggest problem with Moicano, in my opinion, is as good of a striker he is. Oh man, I hate to say this because it's a little disrespectful, and I like this fighter so much. But as good as a striker this guy is, he's kind of got a classic case of pillow fists, in my opinion. He doesn't really have a whole lot of pop behind his punches, so I feel like he's gonna land more volume than KZ on the feet. But I feel like KZ can come out and really put pressure on the guy and maybe even stun him on the feet, knock him down. Just land some big shots. Maybe the bigger shots, the judges will award those more than the volume-based striking of Moicano. So I feel like it's a little closer than odds indicate. But I'm going to go with Moicano, man. He's just so good at winning those rounds. He knows how to outpoint people, and I mean, he's just a legitimate top 5 guy, man. And I see KZ. I mean, KZ's been around for a long time, and he's fighting a next generation guy. Most likely, Moicano comes out here and probably wins. I'm going to say 49-46 unanimous decision. In that one round, KZ wins. I'll say he knocks Moicano down. So it's going to be a hell of a fight. But I'm going to go with the Brazilian Moicano to win the 4-1 decision.
Great fight, man. Moicano definitely dropped the ball versus Aldo. I mean, he won the first round, then just got knocked out. Does he have a bad chin? No, I think he still has a good chin. He's only been knocked out once. This is not even about the matchup, but if he fights Calvin Kattar again, I'm gonna go with Calvin Kattar. In my opinion, I just think Calvin Kattar he's improved so much since that fight, and I think Calvin Kattar actually could really, really be a force in this division. But then again, Moicano's a top 5 guy, so the thing is, I bet on Yair Rodriguez. I don't agree with you saying he's a top 15, top 20 guy. I think he's definitely a top 10 guy. I mean, I think if he fought Zabit, I would definitely bet Rodriguez versus Zabit. Anyway, that probably shows some spoilers right there. But in my opinion, I'm a big fan of him, but T-City is absolutely going to submit Zabit, just to let everyone out there know on Twitter. But anyways, those odds are ridiculous. T-City should be the favorite. Disgusting. Zombie was winning that fight, and I bet on Rodriguez. And I was sitting there on the couch, okay, I'm gonna lose this fight, and then all of a sudden he got that knockout. So Rodriguez he's a beast, man. A beast, but Zombie's a beast too. Zombie, because a dog, he has really good pressure. Moicano doesn't like to get pressure, like you mentioned. So look what Aldo did. Zombie could definitely just follow that game plan. So Zombie definitely, he's a dog. He's a brawler. He has freaking dynamite for hands, man. He's a beast, man. And Zombie is definitely one of the legends of the sports. But on the outside, Moicano's just gonna pick him apart. That jab is really, really, really good. Like you mentioned, he's such a good point striker, great right hand. I think Zombie has to get inside. Zombie could definitely land shots, but who is the thing is in this fight, which I really want to know, because they both have good chins, is who is the more durability guy? And I've been going back and forth and who I think it is, but I think right now, with all the damage he's taken, I think Moicano actually has the better chin. I think Zombie's chin is definitely getting worse and worse. Look at come on, dude. He's taken so much damage. He's been in so many wars. Moicano doesn't get hit that much, really. He did against Aldo, but Moicano's just so smart. The thing is, he has really good grappling too. If he takes down Zombie, that's probably the easiest path of resistance. But I don't think he's going to. But I'm gonna go with Moicano getting a late finish. I think he's really gonna hurt him from the outside and drop Zombie and get him out of there. But is Zombie live? Yeah, dude. Zombie's 100% live. Zombie's gonna be live against a lot of guys. But I gotta go with Moicano. But something's telling me that Korean Zombie could definitely pull it off, but I'm gonna go with Moicano with landing the more strikes and the more volume. I think Moicano's gonna land the more volume. Zombie could definitely hurt him a little bit maybe here and there, but I think all the volume's gonna really just hurt Zombie in the long run. He's gonna get him out of there. So a little recap on our plays. I have Rozenstruik 3 units, parlay with Suarez. I got him straight. I have Lipsky at -140. I have Rozenstruik at -156 with Suarez, and now I have him straight. I have KGB 3 units -130, and then Barb 3 units -130.
Man, I got my biggest play of the year. I got 8 units on Brian Barberena. 3 of that is at minus 130, and the other 5 of that is at minus 160. I got 3 units also on Lipsky at minus 135. And then I'm probably going to have I'm most certainly going to have a third and final play. I definitely like Aguilar, man, but doing this video with you, I mean, I'm really sold on Rozenstruik more than I was before we did this video. So I might even get a little cheeky and do an Aguilar Rozenstruik parlay for some really, really good plus money there, but we'll see.
Yeah, guys. So let us know in the comments below who everyone has and everything. You know, who everyone has in main event, co-main event, all that. And we'll be back next week for UFC Minneapolis. It's a great card. Shout out to one of our best friends on Twitter, Zahar MMA. Go give him a follow. I mean, the guy's speaking truth right now in the comments about Nico Price. I mean, he's like me right now, shaking his head against Kelton. Kelton saying some stuff about how, Nico Price is way below the rankings of Barbarena. I love Barbarena, okay? I'm high on the guy, but come on, dude. Nico Price would beat him, bro. Nico Price is, in my opinion, he's right outside that top 15, dude. Like, Nico Price is a dog. Don't disrespect him saying that Barbarena's 20 spots ahead of him. Come on. And don't disrespect him by saying, well, that power, he has no power. He just said something. He said something that Randy Brown knockout was, I don't know. Come on, dude. You can't take anything away from Nico Price. Like, the guy has heavy hands.
Hey, man, I've cashed my fair share of bets on Nico Price as well, and that's no disrespect on him. I just think Brian Barberena is an amazing fighter, and I would take him against Nico Price. In my opinion, that Warley Alves win is better than Nico Price's wins.
Okay, here we go. Singing bet right here. If Nico Price fights Brian Barberena and Mike Perry, we are doing a singing bet against each other. I already know you have Mike Perry against Nico Price. Hell, you have Mike Perry against anybody. You have Mike Perry against John Jones. So we are doing a singing bet right here on the podcast. If Nico Price fights either of them, singing bet. 100%.
Okay, you got to give me a little more thought on if Brian Barberena fights Nico Price, but if Mike Perry fights Nico Price, you got a deal, bro.
I'll give you one more, and I guarantee you're gonna be scratching your head because a lot of people on Twitter, when this fight was actually announced, were going the other way. Bilal Muhammad versus Nico Price. I'll do a singing bet with you on that too. But Nico Price beats Bilal Muhammad. There you go. 3 people right there.
I would have to think about that a little more.
Okay. 4 people.
I got respect for Nico Price, dude. He's a great fighter, and I wasn't saying he doesn't have power. I was just saying that I guarantee you the hammer fist from bottom are not as powerful as Brian Barberena's overhands on the feet. That's just like
people are just disrespecting him because he got knocked out. People are just disrespecting because he knocked out against Rozen. In my opinion, it was a bad game plan. He should have went out there and brawled with one of the guys that with one of the the nastiest strikers in the division. But I mean, if they fought again, who knows what would happen? But I mean, Nico Price is a dog, man. A dog. And he got caught against Rozen. He just went out there and he tried to hurt him. He hurt him immediately when the fight started and then just tried to brawl. He should have went for the takedown. He didn't. He got caught. But people are just don't think he's good because he did that. He's like 7-2 in UFC, and people are still disrespecting him. There's people in the top 15 right now that Nico Price can beat. So Nico Price, I love the guy. He's gonna keep on cashing bets for me. I'm like 4-1 on him or something like that. You're the man. We're doing singing bets if he fights all those guys. Mike Perry, if you're watching this right here, I like you, man, but dude, you're not beating Nico Price. That's why you're not even saying anything in the comments on Twitter when Nico Price calls you out every day. Like, I don't see Mike Perry saying anything. Literally. Nothing. And then he said something.
Mike Perry's probably like, who the fuck is Nico Price?
He said something on Instagram that he would knock out Roza, Vicente Luque, and Nico Price in the same night. Now, that's some delusional stuff right there because Luque would absolutely end Mike Perry's life. But, I mean, Nico Price would beat him as well. Roza would end his life as well. All 3 of them would beat Nico, or would beat Mike Perry. Sorry for the rain on Nico Price. Obviously, if you guys have been following the channel, you guys know how high I'm on Nico Price. And it's funny, too, because I actually faded him with Vicente Luque. So that should just show you right there. I'm high on both those guys. But, I mean, Luque was the better fighter, man. And he's the better fighter than Nico Price. There's no shame in that. Luque is going to be a top 5 guy. So, but I think Nico Price is going to be a top 15 guy. I really do. And I think he needs to get some more credit because people think that the guy is just not that good. But he is. I'm sorry about the 10-minute rant, Nico Price, but Nico Price is the man. He's the president of the United States of America. Anything else you want to say?
Nah, man, that's gonna do it. That was entertaining.
And if anyone wants to call me out on Nico Price, DM me right now, and we'll do a singing bank. Because Nico Price will end Michelle Perry's life. Okay, later, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys.